How are you? Have you seen interesting talks so far? Like also today here? I haven't made it here today, so okay. Yeah, Fashion Hack Day. It's the as I was introduced. Thanks. It's the world's first fashion hackathon. Let me quickly introduce you to our event and explain a little bit what it's about. And after my introduction, we will see, I think, 4 finalists on stage, and they will pitch their stuff that they made to you. So it's a little bit like the cream of the weekend for you. Fashion meets technology. I mean, I guess you're experts in this since you're sitting here now. If you have seen other talks, I guess you learned a lot maybe about this, or maybe your background is from fashion or from tech. Who of you is from fashion? 1, 2. Tech? 1, okay. 2. That makes 2 teams. And the others, what's your background? More like media or programming? What are you into? Okay, we will talk afterwards. So yeah, the thing is, fashion meets tech. How can you bridge these 2 worlds to form up something new? That was the question, and we invited 50 participants from all over the world to come to Berlin. There was an application form online, and we had about 100 candidates that sent us their ideas. And we had to select 40 of them, and in the end we were 50. So we brought them to Berlin. Fashion people, tech people. From Boston, Italy, Netherlands, even from Russia, we had people there. Then we have these 50 people. We gave them 20 high-class mentors. People who have already shown their success in fashion tech, especially in the Netherlands. You have a really cool scene about that. And we brought the best people that are from this industry to Berlin, and we put them together with our 50 candidates. We gave them 48 hours. 48 hours. In 48 hours, you have to come up with something new. You have to convince the jury of your idea. And yeah, if you have never heard about electronics, no problem. There's somebody that has never heard about fashion before, but you can form a team. And since maybe I should explain what a hackathon is. A hackathon normally is taking place more in the software surrounding. You take 100 programmers, give them a challenge like, okay, program the next app for selling fashion online, and give them 48 hours, and they come up with an app, and they get a prize, and then it's over, more or less. Since this was the first time in the world that we brought together real fashion designers from the fashion industries with software developers, there was a question coming up. How do fashion designers work? I mean, this is a totally different workflow than software. You have to prepare, you have to think about materials. And so we dived into the whole thing in fashion weeks and so on. We talked to these fashion designers. And we decided to give them a preparation phase of about 3 weeks. We found it it was really rapid, like a minimal viable product, so to say. We just founded a secret Facebook group and invited all of them to share their ideas, and the fashion designers, they could start working on some ideas and just to get the process running. So that's how we prepared. I want to share with you some experiences that we made, what we learned, and what we found out about the participants, and what's interesting about the whole thing. So here's some insights. We had 63% women in our hackathon, which is really unusual. And we're really proud about that we could have so many women in tech, getting people interested for this topic and getting them also be part of our event. And we didn't select by gender, we selected by the ideas. So then their background is design and tech in the first place. Design is a third, tech is a quarter, and the rest is something else like from the textile industries, from the media, project management, event management, these things. So we thought this is a pretty cool mixture of people that should get to know each other. What can you do with them? Our briefing for them was, there are some in the audience, so this was one of the first slides we presented to them. We are here to create the future of digital fashion, which sounds pretty big, but it's true. It's one step into this direction. And oh my God, let's have some fun doing it. That's also a big thing about hackathons. You want to have fun and get to know other people and yeah, just have a good time. And of course, we want to break some rules. This is not meant to work for the industries. Well, if you have an idea that works for the industries, it's cool, but just break the rules if it's necessary. No problem for us. Before we start, a few words about us, about me and my team. Our company is called Verit Berlin. We have founded the first conference on wearable tech and fashion tech in Berlin, which is called Verit Festival. And we work together with the industries, and we set up also performances, exhibitions, workshops, networking events. Our goal is to bring together these people from these two worlds. This is the stage at our festival from last year. And we bring in people from Fraunhofer Institute or also science, but also companies. Maybe a little bit like here, but I guess it's more like innovation-driven, I don't know. So there's some participants that showed what they have done. Our speakers, they are experienced in this field, and for example, Moritz Waldemeier, who was our keynote speaker last year, he did the dresses for Take That. If you know Take That. Who knows Take That? Wow, you're pretty old, guys. Take That. And he did, the dresses for the Olympic Games. And as I told before, I really love the electronics that he uses, like jewelry. And yeah, we get really inspired by Moritz Waldemeier. I know him personally, and we work together in Barcelona, and it's great fun. So it's about connecting people. This is another scene. We also have these makers and these exhibitions, performances with wearable tech. And the second thing that's our background is Trafopop, which is a LED bicycling club. It's open source. We have developed software for Macintosh and Arduino also, where you can configure your jacket. And it's about meeting at night times, going out for rides, joining together, meeting each other. And yeah, it has been very successful. We are now founding a chapter in London at the moment. And then we also do commercial work. This is a still from a commercial for TV or for the internet. It's for Eon, and we built for them a light suit that's water resistant, and they used it for skiing and making their videos. Eon, like electricity, it's light, it's movement, and so on. So it was perfect for them. And then, for example, we work with companies like Deutsche Telekom. This is in Barcelona. We set up a whole makerspace for them at the Mobile World Congress. And it was also really successful. And we did it again 3 weeks later for them. So our goal is, even at Telekom, at this booth, we bring together people. Like Mobile World Congress is for CEOs and CTOs, all these people. So our goal is we connect people in fashion and tech. So let's talk about Fashion Hack Day. It started with a hack phase. So we brought together the people in Fab Lab Berlin. Here's a picture. They got machines, laser cutters, 3D printers. We organized all kinds of materials for them, conductive yarn, conductive fabrics, sensors, electronics. And and then they formed up teams. This is a mentor explaining what electronics can do for the participants. Then we saw the first products coming up. And we had workshops that were given by our partners and our mentors, how to use a 3D printer. And at the right side, you can see people working on a data glove. So yeah, the teams found together on Friday evening, and then Saturday and Sunday was working. Yeah, what we have learned until this point was that we gave the participants a great freedom to do what they want, to select the topics they want, to select the sensors they want to use, or select the materials. And I think for next time we should think about narrowing it down, give them some challenges, because that makes it easier for them to discuss about what to do. You have a fashion designer, and he thinks about all the sensors, and he doesn't really know what you can do with it. And then you have the electronic guy, and he just wants to do his idea or something. So think more about ideas. The ideas connect the people, and together they can work on something if you give them a challenge to find new ideas. Our partners were Autodesk. They supported us with their software, Fusion 360. The Kingdom of the Netherlands was a big partner, because from the Netherlands we had all these mentors, and there's a big scene in fashion tech going on. I think they are 1 or 2 steps ahead of us now. And I don't know why they have this cool scene there, but it's really, many successful people come from there. And we had some cloud services from SAP. We had this Sourcebook, which is a fashion network. They supported us. And we had many, many more material partners. You can find them all on our website, fashionhackday.com. The projects, so until this moment, I talked until this moment. I was there for you on stage. And now I would like the participants to present some of their projects. In total, at the Fashion Hack Day, we had 13 projects. 13 projects that got presented on Sunday here on the stage. And tonight we have 4 projects for you, all winning projects, and it's like the cherry of the cake for you. So if you missed it last time, this is your chance. So we start with Status Suit. And yeah, thank you. Thanks for your attention. I speak to you later, and please give a warm applause for our participant.
So this is our project, the Stethasuit. It started with this idea that our bodies are complex systems that are just as mysterious as the universe as a whole. And the cosmos and the bodies represent a massive scale difference, with humans stuck in the middle. And normally, to understand this difference of scale, we rely on our visual sense, on our vision, to look at diagrams, to look at any kind of visual aids, to understand that how small even the insides of our bodies are as compared to the massive cosmos. So that started an interesting question for us. What if we used another sense besides sound, besides vision, and relied on sound? Are there visual limitations that a sound can extend even further and interrogate the experience of our bodies and the experience of being in the cosmos at large? Are there patterns in sound that would allow us to see emerge between the world of our bodies and the world of the cosmos. And the idea behind this was to privilege an oral mode of introspection and discovery across these massive scales. That is the sound of space. Now, technically, space has no sound, but this is transmuted electromagnetic vibrations picked up by NASA's Voyager spacecraft as it was traveling through our solar system. And some of these sounds that you're hearing now are the sounds of solar flares. The interesting part about this is that it sounds remarkably similar to our bodies. The cycles and the patterns, the whistles, the bleeps and the bloops. A little hard to hear at the moment, but I imagine some of you already know what this sounds like. So this led us to think about how we could build a wearable that addressed these similarities and some of these ideas, which is when we hit upon the stethosute, a combination between a stethoscope and a spacesuit, as a way to kind of bridge orally this massive landscape of space with the small inner workings of our bodies. So when we started thinking about how we would design it, we started with a pretty common reference point, the 2001 Space Odyssey, with the hats designed by Frederick Fox, a very famous British milliner. What we liked about this was the oval shape. It kind of suggested a bit of an elliptical pathway that celestial bodies would take through space. Also, the egg was very evocative of an organic, new life form. And the color story, we stuck with eggshell white and space gray. And this is exactly the only thing that we started with at the beginning of the 48 hours, was one $20 stethoscope that we immediately took apart. It was a delightfully analog technology. Decided that we wanted to focus on the round piece, the actual sensor bit of the stethoscope. And we started sketching it out, what it would look like. And from the very beginning, we decided we wanted an array of stethoscopes attached to a garment with several tubes that would feed into one ear. And the other ear, we wanted to have the space sounds coming into. So in our construction phase, we went over to the laser cutter, and we started with strips of small 4mm pieces of wood, started cutting out eggshell shapes. And here, the hole in the middle is where we started placing the stethoscopes. This is a diagram showing how we would build up the different layers of of each one of these pods. There are different heights, and some are open and some are closed, to give a variable pattern to this, to the design. So we didn't want it to be a uniform constant visual. And then we 3D printed the stethoscopes with a MakerBot. Since this is just a prototype, further iterations would be a little bit more sophisticated. We also 3D printed the hinges to create an exoskeleton underneath, and was able to assemble them into a pretty sturdy device. And for the space side of it, we had an Adafruit Sound FX board with 2 speakers, and a LiPo battery, and a switch. And so we preloaded some of the sounds from NASA onto it. And that's in the left ear. All that's contained in that spot. And this is the flat lay of all of our components together. When we put them together, the pods ended up looking remarkably like a constellation, which was pretty surprising to us. And here is the model debuting for the very first time, the stethosute, on Sunday night. And this is my partner, Rosie. We worked for the first time together on this project. We've never done anything together before, so the entire process was fabulous. We completely merged our design, fashion, technology together. And as a result, one of the most interesting things about this collaboration process was focusing on wearable technology, fashion technology, not so much on a tracking or monitoring on what that can do for us quantitatively for our lives, but how something could change our lives from a qualitative perspective to have a different experience for the wearer and go beyond measuring or any kind of metrics. This is been a wonderful experience. I look forward to the next iteration, and please keep in touch if you'd like to learn what happens next with the stethoscope.
Thank you, thanks. Are there any questions from the audience? Do you have any questions? Okay, I have a question. I know that you came over from the US. So can you tell us a little bit how you found out about the hackathon and what made you come here?
Absolutely. It was on Twitter. And Adafruit had tweeted about you guys.
Ah, okay. Oh,
I know,
I
this
didn't
is the
know
first time he's hearing about this. Adafruit tweeted about you guys and said it was the real deal. And for anyone who's interested in playing with circuits and fashion to take a serious look, so we applied.
Yeah, cool, super. Okay, nice. Yeah, we were really happy that you came over and that we had so many people from all over the world. Yeah, thank you so much, and I'm really looking forward for the second edition, maybe on the next hackathon. Thanks again, big applause. Thank you.
Thank you to our model, Sarah.
Okay, thanks. Okay, thank you. We have the next team coming up. So keep in mind, everything was done in 48 hours. Okay, wait one moment. Okay, big applause for emotional fashion.
Hello, I am Jasna Rok of Team Emotional Fashion. Our team existed out of a scientist programmer, a mechatronic engineer, a textile designer, a gospel player, and a fashion designer. And together we created an avatar called Emotional Fashion. We started by building a mask who's visualizing your brainwaves. So what you saw right now was his brainwaves visualized by changing lights right on me. So actually, I become a mirror for him, and he's getting real-time neurofeedback. And tell me, Jose, how did we do that?
We built this mask back in Belgium with the help of the Center for Microsystems Technologies in Ghent. And they have this patented way of connecting circuits and components to polymers and to thermoform them in each form, whatever form they want.
Also, we think that fashion should be an extension of your mind and your body, and your muscles are an extension of your mind, right? So we also added all together a special mechanism to create wings. These wings are actually responding to your body movements. To make this happen, we used also some special sensors.
We used EMG sensors to monitor the muscle tension and contraction. That way we could actuate wings by Bluetooth to the other person or avatar.
Yes. So this is our project, and we performed it as a performance because we think that also fashion needs a new way of presenting it. So we're also looking in depth how we can create fashion into the digital and virtual world. And if you want to see that, you can have a look at the Facebook Jasna Rok. There is a 360 view on virtual reality of the project. We also got picked up by the newspapers, and this is actually published today. And we are very proud of our team, so thank you very much. And thanks for the Fashion Hackathon, because they brought us all together.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, this is for you. So maybe let's stay on stage for 1 or 2 minutes. Do you have any questions about this? I mean, it's pretty exciting, right? You have brain waves connected to fashion. It's maybe not the first thing you would do if it's if you think about fashion technologies, so what do you think? I mean, is it something that we will see in 5 years, in your opinion, on the streets? If I buy a hat, do they track my brainwaves?
Well, I think in 5 years, technology will be smaller, so we won't wear this big thing on our head. But yes, it's super important because also problems of today we can already solve. For instance, think about people with a concentration disorder. By seeing their own brainwaves in light, they could train to focus themselves better. So there are already solutions for problems today you can use this for.
Super. And what do you think about this playground? Because we are talking about how can this technology solve a problem, but also on Fashion Hack Day, this was more like a laboratory, right? It was more like playing around with tech. How do you see the connection between this kind of playground that maybe in the first sight is more like arty, and the next step, how to get a product that's relevant for us? What do you think?
Well, I think the fashion hackathons as a playground are very, very useful because we also had a participant, she's sitting right over there, and she never did this before, and because she saw it and it was fun to do, she got in touch with it, and now she really loves it and she's going to take it to a further stage. So I think it's very attractive also for people at the first time they don't really are reliable with it, and then they try it and they start, and you getting a community. It's really the future. I'm sure of that.
Okay, thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thanks. Next project is Moon. We're going into fashion, deeply into fashion design. So yeah, please, big applause for Project Moon. Thanks.
Hello. My name is Mona Weber. What my project was to create a smart necklace, which you see here. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to present it on. The idea was to create a fashion accessory that looks beautiful and that does not look so techy. So a lot of accessories like smart bits and Apple Watches and whatnot, they all look so technological. It doesn't, for the average woman or man, it doesn't. A woman wants to buy an accessory because she finds it beautiful, not because she wants it to look like technology, not necessarily anyway. So that was the idea. So we created a necklace that together, I was designing it, and then my teammate was helping me program everything. So the idea was to create a necklace with brass. So very sleek and simple design, but as you see here with illumination underneath it. So this was the illumination part, and it is smartphone compatible. So it was completely Bluetooth. It has a Bluetooth receiver in it, so you can power it on and off and control the illumination underneath it with the Bluetooth and with your app, which we programmed throughout this hackathon. And the idea was also to be able to be sitting in a meeting or in a dinner party or something like that, and you don't want to have your smartphone in your pocket, or because you don't have a bag with you or something, but you still want to know if somebody's calling you or sending you a text message. So as opposed to having a bracelet that is vibrating and that is letting you know, oh, you're getting a phone call, you have your necklace vibrating and letting you know that you are getting a phone call. So the vibration is set in the neck, so it's very discreet. Nobody else knows it, and you can just sneak off or be, well, excuse me, I have to go to the ladies' room, and be discreet about it and not be rude to have a look at your cell phone and know who's calling you. The other thing is that, so the illumination can also show that you're getting a text message or call, but then you're not being very discreet anymore. And then we have a 3D printed clasp in the back, which is the closure for optimal protection of the technology, because it has to be so small and it has to be optimized to a person. And a person doesn't want to constantly change batteries or stick the cable into the outlet and power it up and recharge it. So the idea was to create a 3D printed clasp that is perfectly molded around the back of the necklace, together with the battery and all the technology in it. And you can recharge it wirelessly on a base and on like a little socket that recharges the necklace, because you don't want to have any wires sticking out of your neck. So yeah, that was the project.
Thank you. Thanks. So I know that you're working at a company in Berlin. You do wearable tech, ready-to-wear stuff. Can you tell us 1-2 sentences about this company, maybe? So, yeah, if you want to.
The company is called Moon Berlin. It's been around for a couple of years now. The designer's been doing this for about 10 years already. So he specialized in fashion technology, but in a very wearable way. So it's ready to wear. It's very elegant, very beautiful, and using technology also for aesthetics and not just as functionality, which was what I wanted to elaborate on with this project and kind of expand it.
So, because you know a little bit about ready-to-wear, that means stuff you can actually sell or buy in a shop. What do you think about the step from a prototype like this to a product that you can market, like a product that's out there that we can buy, because we're all waiting for these products, right? When can we buy a necklace like this?
I think the big step is going to be getting rid of all of this and making it very small and really incorporating it into the back of the necklace. So for the user to have and the end consumer to really have a very useful, very easy to use product. A user doesn't want to think about, how do I charge it? How do I wash it? He doesn't want to think about all of that. He wants to wear his necklace or her necklace as any regular other piece of jewelry that she already owns. So that's
what we are used to with fashion, right?
Exactly.
You just exchange your T-shirt or something and you don't think about it.
You don't think it. You want to stick it into the washing machine. You want to travel with it.
Okay,
so,
cool.
Yeah.
Good, let's take it to the next step. Okay, thank you, thanks. Now we have 2 more projects coming up. First we have the shirt. We have 2 more projects coming up. So next, I'm really happy to present. I'm really looking forward for that presentation as well, because it's something that's really useful and maybe used tomorrow. Big applause for Orti.
So me taking part at the hackathon was more or less a coincidence. I went to the Fab Lab with my boyfriend to represent Sourcebook, and then I saw all those people talking about their amazing ideas, and I was like, I have an idea too. And I'm a speech therapist, so I have nothing to do with technology or fashion, but I'm very interested in working with kids, especially kids with autism. And a problem that these kids have is they can't really read facial expressions, emotions, because they don't like keeping eye contact. And I thought it would be really great to actually have a tool that makes it easy for the kids to understand and also communicate emotions non-verbally. So I talked to a guy who also had an idea that was aiming at like social responsibility, and I told him about it, and he said, it's great, let's do it. So I stayed the whole weekend in the Fab Lab, and so that's the t-shirt. And it has 6 basic emotions and 6 corresponding colors. And you even have different stages of the emotion. That means I'm really, really angry. Or careful, I'm getting angry. And there are actually only 2 colors working. And the thing was, okay, we can make this t-shirt pretty easily. We used like a vinyl cutter for the emotions. And then we thought about how can we actually like use LED lights, and we were like trying to fix things, and then it was like, no, it's not working. And then I was like, okay, we need LED lights that you can just switch on and off. Bike lights. So we took some bike lights in different colors. We have them here in red and there in blue. And yeah, so we just fixed them inside the t-shirt, and that's the result.
Thank you. Thanks. This is a real hack, because you know where this word hack comes from? Yeah, it was like they were playing around with these little trains, like for children. And somewhere in England or so, they made something out of it that was not the case. Like the inventor didn't think about this. They invented something new out of these wagons. And so this is a typical hack. Somebody invented a bike light, but now you can use it for autistic children in a very different way, and this is perfect for us. So the jury was really convinced by your idea and by the project. So how was it for you when you saw all these tech people in the Fab Lab? I mean, how did you get in touch with the other guys there? You said you met this other guy and then he said, I help you, but how did you meet him, and or how did you connect? Because I was basically organizing and I just saw everybody's connecting. So it would be interesting to hear about this perspective of how did it take, what happened there? How did the teams form? How did they meet the people? How was that?
So I asked somebody who kind of had the same approach, and he was a designer. So I knew that he could help me with the look of it, but then we had no tech person in our team. That's why we were struggling. Yeah. But I have to say, those 2 days, they were like a playground for me. There was stuff I have never seen in my life before, like 3D printer, laser cutter. I mean, it really depends on what you are doing in real life. And I have to say that this weekend was amazing because I felt like a kid. I was exploring things, I learned new stuff, I met new people I would have never met. And that was such a great opportunity. And then we had this little presentation here, and I won the 2nd prize. And it's like, wow, I mean, you just have to try things out, you know, that's what it's all about. And you have to let kids try things out, and that's how they can also achieve great things and become inventors and great human beings.
Cool, thank you, thanks. And now we're coming to the first prize. The jury was convinced of this design of this product because of its multifunctional aspects and because of the great teamwork. Yeah, big applause for the project Knowledge is Power.
Hi. My name is Nayeli. This project is called Knowledge is Power. Okay, this project talks about how for women it's so hard to move in public transportations in cities like Mexico, where I come from. I took this data from Thomas Reuters, a foundation that make a study about how dangerous it is to move and which are the countries where it's most dangerous to travel in subway or in the bus. This study asked questions to women like, have you been verbally harassed by men when using public transport, or have you been or experienced any other form of physical harassment when using public transport? Here we have that Mexico City is the first country in the world where women experienced this kind of attacks pretty frequently. In fact, another study from United Nations said that 65% of women have experienced sexual violence in their life traveling public transportation. Every day in Mexico, a million of women move, a million of persons move into public transportation. So the problem with public transportation is that it's part of the city, and cities needs to be a better place to live. So cities cannot be places where women should be scared of living or to have transportation, and this affects directly on the quality of life. This means that women don't feel confident to go out alone, or they are segregated. In the case of Mexico City, they need to use their spaces that are only allowed for women, and we think that this is not the solution. Another study from United Nations and other entities that are international entities declared that one of the ways to fight against this problem is to make that women report this problem. Because women are not reporting this, because women don't want to go to the police to say somebody said something mean to me or somebody touched me on the subway. It's not something that women in Mexico want to do, or in other countries in Latin America. So we started this project asking to ourselves, how can we make or invite women to stay in anonymity, to stay anonymous, but to anyway continue reporting? Because when women report, then there are statistics, there are information, there are knowledge about how to fight against this problem that is an invisible problem, but everybody knows it's there. So we started on the Fashion Hack Day. I was working with one colleague that we never worked together, but I invited her to the Fashion Hack Day, and we met Sophie. Sophie was there also on the Fashion Hack Day, and we just made a perfect match, and we said, okay, we like the project, we want to continue working on it, and pretty fast we show like what we had in mind. We knew that it was pretty ambitious what we wanted to do, so we only wanted to make a statement about how to show on a final act our project, and how to say that we are pretty worried to raise awareness about this problem, not only in Latin America, but it's a problem because in 2015, 70% of the global population is going to live on the cities. So when the population increases, it's going to be necessary to have more public transportation and more better spaces. So we started to work with our sketches. I think we were a pretty, we made so perfect match that we just started thinking or to flow pretty easy with the process. Then we thought about drawing the subway in Mexico City, and we thought about how can we represent it, and we found that it is possible to represent them with LEDs. This is the subway from Mexico City, and we thought about representing this with an alarm that is, yeah, you can touch. Like, it's only one red light that indicates that something is going on in one of the stations. We worked and we used all the techniques and the machines that we had on Fab Lab because we wanted to use all the resources. So we need our textiles. We made the textiles in Fab Lab, and we also used the laser cutting machines. So we made also these textiles. And well, this was the final presentation for our statement. But one of the purpose of having an alarm would be to locate the event in the time or in the place. So when a woman have access to Wi-Fi, then it's possible to go up to the cloud and have all this information in a cloud to make data, statistics, and to predict where all the cases will gonna happen or where all these things are happening. So in the future, the politics will gonna have pretty clear information to say, okay, this is a problem that it's affecting to the women in Latin America, specifically in Mexico City, and we can, for the future, make a better city that it's not only for men, but also for all, including us women. So this is an example of how could it work, reporting all the cases, like time and the frequency of the cases in a map. So it will gonna be possible to start making predictions. This is another photo. And yeah, we are the team Knowledge is Power, Nayeli Vega, Sophie Kellner, Sarah Hermanuts. It was an incredible experience to participate on the Fashion Hack Day. For us, it was pretty much about play, pretty much about try all the materials and try with technology to communicate this social issue that we think fashion and technology also can help to solve social problems. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks. So I think this is very interesting because fashion is political, right? With fashion, you express your status in society, or you express a certain mood, you express yourself, your individuality, and then suddenly you come up with an idea that expresses also a political problem. And I think this is really interesting because it looks good. I mean, you did it in 48 hours. If you had time like 2 months or half a year, of course, this would be perfectly done, I guess. But you can get the idea. It's like decorative, but then it combines a function also with an idea that's really relevant for us. And I think that was something that convinced the jury, and the idea is very powerful.
I forgot to mention that our concept is based on making like an armor here, like the meaning of protection and safety, and then we use this material to express vulnerability, and it's translucent because we wanted to show these parts of the body. So that's why we choose these materials, and black because it's pretty strong, and white because you can't see through the body. And that's how that's the feeling that many women have every time they go to the subway in cities like Mexico City.
Wow. So, yeah, do you have a question about this from the audience? No? So, what are you going to do next? What is your personal background? Like, are you from the fashion background or from tech background? What's your personal?
I am product designer, and my partner that helped Sarah, she is working on the tech field, and Sophie, she's working on the textile area. She's studying textile engineering. So we were like kind of designers, and that's why I felt like we have so similar ideas, but at the same time we come from different places. Sarah is from Canada, Sophie is living in Zurich, and I come from Mexico. So
it would be super cool because I know that SAP, the partners, they offered you to bring this to the cloud using their system. Mm-hmm. So it's really possible to do it, I think.
Yeah, and it's so possible that I received an invitation to participate in a call from the organization of countries from Latin America to develop a project based on technology against violence against women. So this can continue. It's really a project that can go further. So I would really like to see this working in some.
Yeah, it's good to give that topic a spotlight through fashion and through something that's also fun and not so heavy, but still we have the project. So yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for taking part. Thank you. So thanks. Yeah, I hope it was something like the presentations were enjoyable for you as an audience, that you get some insights how this digital new fashion can be developed in a new way. And I think the ideas that came up, they're so different, and especially for autistic children, these ideas are the harassment, the sexual harassment. You need people who actually work in this field, who have these ideas. They come up with things that are really needed because it's their daily life. So as a designer or engineer, how can you have these ideas if you're not in touch with these environments? I think it's really important to connect more, to connect industries. Why not connect Adidas with Airbus or something else? That's what we are working on. Next, we are going to do think tanks to connect people even more. And I think that's our mission. And yeah, these are all the people that found together during Fashion Hack Day. It's right here on the stage last Sunday. And thank you so much. If you have any idea or need or something, thomas@varied-berlin.com. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the presentations.